Hi doing YouTube. Today I want to go ahead and do a quick video on my rod and reel arsenal for throwing swim baits. I want to start you off with the first rod I picked up, which was the Dobbins Spurious Series 795 rod, which is rated from 1 to 5 ounces. Honestly, I want to say that actual weight range is over exaggerated, and I'm going to tell you the sweet spot for me is 2.5 ounces and smaller. Throwing 3 ounces and larger, I just found it was a little bit overpowering on the load. I just really feared breaking this rod, but I definitely do like it and find it very universal for a lot of the smaller swim baits out there. The second rod I had purchased was the iRod Genesis 2 794 heavy large swim bait rod is how it's identified. It's rated for 4 to 10 ounce lures, and I actually haven't used this rod very much. I want to say I only took it out twice, and my main intent for this rod was going to be for throwing that 8-inch Huddleston. Was I able to throw it? Yes, but it just felt, even though it states it's 4 ounces on the low end, it just didn't feel like it was really loading up the rod very well, and it just felt like that 4 ounce low mark on here was just exaggerated. I feel like I needed to get something a little bit heavier for this rod to show its true potential. It's probably been shelved now for the last 8 months. I'm hanging on to it because I know eventually I'm going to get some heavier lures. So the third rod I picked up, and it's one of my favorite rods just because I love throwing some big plastics, is the Dobbins Spurious Series 806 swim bait rod. So it's an 8-foot 6-power rod, and it's primarily I throw a lot of big plastics on this given rod. It's anywhere from the Huddleston 68, the Huddleston 8-inch, and then some of my large Osprey swim baits, and even got some mag drafts and mag slows that I throw on it. Great rod, nice power. It really allows me to drive these jig hooks home when you get a bite and you want to just slam that sucker to its top of its jaw. This rod has been getting it done, and I have yet to lose a hud fish on this given rod. So this one here, I have it paired up with the Shimano Tranqs 300 Alpha. What that is it's a low gear speed ratio reel. It's a 5-speed. I think it's like 5/8 to 1. Which really allows me to keep it in. I prefer to fish fast, but going with a slower reel really allows me to make sure I'm creeping that sucker on the bottom. And I would like to try maybe a faster speed reel and just slow down my actual retrieve, but I have yet to lose a fish on it. Once I get the hook set, I'm just driving them home. Drag on this reel is 22 pounds. As far as the line, man, I probably got at least about 150 yards of vicious 20-pound fluorocarbon on this reel. Vicious fluorocarbon is not really a well-known line for swim baits, but it's a lure. It's a line that I've been using for like 5 to 6 years. Primarily, I use it as a leader line with my conventional setups, and I do have it as a straight-up spool on my crankbait rod and one other rod. And it's in the past, it's never been that great for me as a full spool type of line, but I've had zero issues with it for fishing these large swim baits. Definitely love the 806, and I definitely plan on getting one more of them. This combo with the 806 and the Shimano Tranqs, I can lob this sucker, man. I don't know how far, maybe I'll measure it out one day, but this sucker can just launch them out there. So that Fury Series 795, I constantly kept going into my local shop, which they're not really a store that carries much swim baits, but they do have a little bit of stuff in there. And I kept going in to try to find another 806, and then finally one day, that 795 Fury was so universal with a lot of the lures I had that I picked up another 795, but this one is the actual Champion XP in the 795. So immediately when I took this rod out, I actually hated it. It just didn't feel right to me. Yes, they are in fact both the same exact length, at 7'9". But if I can get this in video for you guys, let's see if I can do it without stabbing myself with this lure on here. The butt end of it is not the same length. So if this footage right now is doing it any justice, the Champion XP's buttstock is a little bit shorter. I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches shorter than the 795 Fury. That first day out, I just hated it. It just didn't feel right to me. I had almost took it off and immediately put it back, my reel back on the 795 Fury. But I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna work it a little bit longer and just get a full-on opinion on this actual setup to see maybe it will become one of my favorite rods. Another difference between the 795 Champion XP and the Fury Series 1 is, I don't know, this Champion, it feels, even though they're the same power, it feels a little bit stiffer than the 795 Fury. So I would think that the Champion might be better for your open J hooks, where the Fury might be a little bit better for the treble. They'll both do good in both worlds, but as far as which one will be better for one or the other, I would say the Champion will possibly be better for the J hooks, but the Fury will be better for the trebles. Who knows? That might be what I find as I continue to use this one. Other than that, I found no differences between the two, other than those two. This Champion I think I've only had for like a month now, and unfortunately I went back to work this year, so I haven't been fishing as much as I did last year, where I just took that entire year off and just was living off my retirement check. But so far, let's see, with this one, I've been throwing some of the smaller 6-inch HUDs, 6-inch plastics, the Steps 175, some miscellaneous different lures. It's working pretty good. I haven't caught anything on it yet, but it's starting to grow on me. I really would like if the buttstock was a little bit longer, but maybe because of this shorter length with the reel being a little bit further back, who knows, maybe that's why it feels a little bit stiffer to me. Excuse me. This one here actually has my first Swimbait reel on it. It's the Ardent Apex Magnum. This one here is a 6:5 to 1 gear ratio, 17.6 pounds, something like that, a drag. And with this reel here, I think I got something like 125 yards of P-Line CXX 20-pound line. And the majority of my Swimbait fish have come off of this, as the Shimano Tranqs I've only had maybe 6 months or something now. Good reel, it's like $150, but let's see, at $150, I have not tried the Lose Super Duty wide spool. I'm trying to think what else might be in that similar price range. There's some things I don't like about it. If you're thinking about this one and the Lose, I can't tell you if the Lose is any better. But what I can tell you with the Ardent Apex Magnum is it works. And I know my Apex Elites work really great with the braid on it. And this works and all, but I have had a few issues where I've had a few times on retrieve that the line didn't lay out evenly. It's like all set to one side. And then on all my Ardent reels, it's not big. I just don't like it. But your spool tensioner, I have to kind of get like 2 fingers on there to make my adjustments. It's just a tighter tolerance or something. Where all of my other reels, regardless of brand, I can do a quick adjustment with just my thumb in place as in use, and just make a nice adjustment with my other ones. So if you're thinking about the Apex Magnum, you could take that in consideration. Like I said, that's a really minor issue. But the line leg coming back unevenly, I'm definitely I've been planning on getting some new reels. I just don't know which ones yet. I really would like the HG whatever, the high speed Tranqs. I just don't like that power handle on it. But these are the rods and reels I have as far as swim baits. I think I start to ramble on there a little bit at the end. But if you have any questions, please leave them down in the description about any of these given rods or reels. I'll definitely get back to you and answer any of your questions. And until next time, you guys take it easy and take care and tight lines.